Level 1. A calendar, invite, and the first abyss. An official notification about a brief meeting hit the work email at 4:51 on Thursday. The new HR manager was waiting in a remote cubicle, holding a paper folder labeled with your name. A massive company-wide layoff cost you your position after 9 years of flawless service at a large enterprise. Severance pay came out to $2,310 before all mandatory taxes were withheld. After all taxes were deducted, a mere $1,740 remained in the bank account. Your security badge was taken immediately, and a guard escorted you past silent coworkers toward the vast parking lot. Only one burly warehouse worker warmly shook your hand and wished you the best of luck in life. Only $1,674 remained on your debit card for current living expenses. The monthly rent for a tiny apartment was $1,375 for the upcoming month. The regular monthly payment on the work pickup truck came out to $289 according to the schedule. Health insurance cost $714 per month, which was simply financially impossible. You submitted 41 resumes over 9 days, but received only swift automated rejections. An automated tracking system rejected your application at 3 in the morning without a human ever looking at it. Gas for the drive to the only real job interview cost $9 out of your emptying wallet. Your former position appeared back online with a pay rate listed at $3 less per hour. Unemployment benefits amounted to $412 a week, delayed by 5 long weeks. Extreme grocery budgeting became the main objective during daily trips to the supermarket. A severe old shoulder injury began to flare up badly due to the damp weather and relentless mental stress. In the bathroom drawer, a small bottle of potent prescription painkillers was still sitting quietly. You lied to your mother over the phone, assuring her that everything at work was business as usual. Level 2. A cramped spare room and a slippery slope. A quick sale of your couch for $80 allowed you to cover the most urgent daily pocket expenses. You were forced to move into your old childhood bedroom in your mother's third-floor apartment. The former bedroom had turned into a sewing room, complete with your father's old dress shirts on hangers. Every week, you handed your mother $150 from your delayed unemployment benefits. Mom put the cash inside an old floral tin where rent money had traditionally been kept. Mom's pension was $1,140, while the monthly rent was $560. Your pickup truck was repossessed for unpaid debts at 5:41 in the morning, right outside the window. You felt a strange sense of relief as the large tow truck slowly hauled your defaulted vehicle away. Severe shoulder pain forced you to take the first half of a painkiller pill just to get a restful night's sleep. 9 hours of perfect sleep marked the beginning of a dangerous new dependence on prescription painkillers. Half a pill quickly escalated to a whole one due to constant financial failures on the job hunt. The stash of pills in the drawer ran out completely in March, forcing you to seek new sources. A former coworker from the plant sold you a new batch for the last paper bills left in your wallet. Your cell phone was disconnected for non-payment for 11 long, deeply nerve-wracking days. Selling an old TV for $110 was covered up with a lie about helping a close friend. You missed your own niece's birthday party, sitting alone inside a stranger's car 4 blocks away. Your sister Dana began looking at you with deep suspicion and a quiet, analytical sadness. You pretended to be actively searching for work, keeping a resume folder permanently displayed on the desk. Mom kept ironing dress shirts for upcoming job interviews that didn't actually exist at all. One day, you simply couldn't hand your mother her mandatory $150 contribution. Level 3. An empty tin, 2 trash bags, and urban darkness. The floral tin was short by $180 to pay the current month's rent. Mom miscounted the bills on the kitchen table twice, blaming her own fading elderly memory. Sister Dana immediately understood the real reason behind the missing cash from the modest family budget. You staged an outburst of indignation to cover up your overwhelming shame in front of your closest family. Mom desperately wanted to believe your words, but the stark facts spoke loudly for themselves. Dana offered a choice: a trip to the social services office or clearing out of the room immediately for good. You silently packed your belongings into 2 black trash bags and walked out into the cold morning light. You took your father's watch, your phone, clothes, and the folder filled with old resumes. A 6-day stay on a friend's couch ended due to the silent demand of his highly irritated girlfriend. An all-night bus route cost $2.75 for one complete loop around the city. A 24-hour laundromat became a sanctuary where you could sit to the hum of running washing machines. The kind laundromat owner left out a plate of warm chicken without asking a single unnecessary question. You learned to sleep sitting upright, which was really just a rough daily rehearsal for real sleep. On the 9th day, you brought your father's watch to a pawn shop on bustling Delancey Street. The experienced pawnbroker offered $90 and extended the redemption window to 60 days. The pawnbroker's words about possibly reclaiming the heirloom became the first glimmer of hope in complete darkness. The $90 received were spent over 4 days on a new supply of dangerous illicit substances. The evening shelter line began forming at 4:30 in the afternoon in the freezing city wind. You stood sandwiched between a young kid and an elderly man, clutching your 2 black trash bags. It felt like the absolute rock bottom, but a far more difficult ordeal was still waiting ahead. Level 4. A shelter, a steel counter, and the first sober choice. Shelter rules demanded a return by 7 in the evening, under the threat of losing your bed. You slept with the sturdy strap of the trash bag wrapped securely around your wrist for protection. Your bunkmate Cyrus knew every soup kitchen and useful social services address in the city. Cyrus noticed your trembling hands and understood your story without asking a single extra question. You donated plasma twice a week, receiving $50 and $35 in instant cash payments. 40 minutes of plasma donation passed while watching a cooking show on a muted TV screen. Cyrus kept repeating the rule about preserving your mornings to make sound daily decisions. Addiction transformed from a chase for pleasure into a grueling daily job without a paycheck. In the morning, a man's body who had passed away quietly in his sleep was carried out of the room. 40 men in the room turned their eyes away, and you understood the grim essence of that silence. You approached Cyrus and asked for help finding an addiction medical rehabilitation facility. Cyrus walked 40 blocks alongside you to the county social services office. He joked with the receptionist nurse for 5 hours until your application was officially processed. Before leaving, Cyrus asked you to look strictly forward and never search for him again. 6 days of intense detox reshaped your vision of your future path and personal life. Social worker Ruiz made 11 phone calls to secure an open bed in a transitional home. You were admitted to a sober living facility on Fenn Street, managed by the strict Mrs. Ida. Mrs. Ida stood 5 feet tall with an iron character under a gray knitted cardigan. House rules demanded prompt rent payments, meeting attendance, and mandatory shared dinners. Mrs. Ida noted that most men give up on the very first Friday rent collection day. Level 5, a dish pit, 4 envelopes, and restoring honor. Rent at the sober house was $85 a week and was genuinely saving your life. You got a job as a dishwasher at the Starlight Diner paying $13.50 an hour. The owner tested new hires for 30 days before placing them on the official schedule. Your first hard-earned paycheck amounted to $364.18 net. Mrs. Ida taught you to split money into 4 separate envelopes: rent, debt, personal, and savings. The smallest envelope was earmarked for personal needs. Because you, yourself, were starting very small, you opened an account at a credit union with a minimal $1 monthly maintenance fee. Your credit score stood at 489 points, following all past financial disasters. A $200 secured credit card helped slowly rebuild your personal financial history. You answered collection calls and negotiated structured payment plans for old defaulted debts. A $1,940 debt was settled for $700 through manageable monthly payments. Every Thursday, you attended meetings in a church basement and earned new bronze sobriety chips. After 11 weeks, you finally admitted out loud the shameful theft of the money from your mother. Big Ed, a roofer, supported you by noting that the first confession costs the most in life. In the fourth month, you mailed your mother $180 in an envelope with no letter. Mom recognized your handwriting instantly and didn't ask a single awkward question during the call. By the sixth month, weekly Sunday phone calls with your mother about her tomato plants were fully restored. You were promoted to line cook prep assistant at $15.75 per hour. 240 days of sobriety became a solid foundation for your new future. You began putting leftover cash into a fifth envelope, clearly marked Smart Start, Level 6, wooden pallets, yard sales, and launching a business. A regular customer named Otis shared insights about liquidation auctions held at large regional warehouses. He advised never to fall in love with inventory, as it is merely unrealized paper cash. Your first purchased pallet cost $290 out of your personal envelope savings. The pallet contained small electronics and household goods. From an itemized manifest list, you delivered the boxes onto Mrs. Ida's front porch using a borrowed heavy-duty hand truck. Selling items from that first pallet generated $684 over 2 weeks. You realized you were earning more on the porch than in the local diner's dish pit. The core business rule became listing every single defect of every item with complete honesty. Buyers deeply valued the transparency and bought products far quicker than standard market rates. Renting a storage unit for $79 a month served as your very first real warehouse space. A booth space at the Sunday flea market cost $45 per day. You built a loyal customer base among local handymen and seniors interested in your merchandise. Weekends brought in anywhere from $500 to $700 in net retail profit. You kept working at the diner for another 14 months to ensure total business safety. The transition rule required business income to consistently exceed job wages for 3 straight months. Registering the LLC cost $150 and 1 morning spent at the government office. An accountant from the church group taught you proper bookkeeping using a spreadsheet setup. Buying an old cargo van for $1,900 significantly expanded your logistics capabilities. October brought a record net revenue of $4,000 in pure profit. You retrieved your father's pocket watch from the pawn shop 26 months after pawning it. Level 7, a major warehouse, first employees, and a resilient system. Renting a real 1,800 square foot warehouse facility cost $1,650 a month. The first operational year of the warehouse generated $340,000 in gross revenue. By year 3, total company turnover reached $1,100,000. You hired individuals with resume gaps and complex, difficult life backgrounds. Employees hired from Mrs. Ida's home received fair wages reliably every single Friday payday. Payroll was processed every Friday before noon without any delays or excuses on your part. 2 workers who stole $3,000 worth of merchandise were terminated that same day. You maintained a separate 6-week payroll reserve fund in a dedicated bank account for unexpected crises. An 11-day platform account suspension failed to halt payroll distributions to your staff. Following reinstatement, you built 2 additional sales channels to reduce dependence on a single platform. Cyrus walked into the warehouse 60 days sober and was appointed senior floor manager. He trained incoming workers on sorting inventory pallets and properly packing every outgoing parcel. Mom visited the warehouse and felt immensely proud of her son's triumph after those harrowing years. Sister Dana met you for monthly lunches, gradually rebuilding complete trust in your life. You handed your sister the final $180 debt repayment from that old floral tin. You bought your mother's apartment outright for $118,000 in cash without mortgages. Title ownership was placed under your mother's name, freeing her from future rent expenses forever. A regional retail liquidation network took strong interest in your successful business metrics. Acquisition talks spanned 9 intense weeks in a highly professional corporate atmosphere. You remained entirely calm, having endured far greater hardships in your past. Level 8. Investment capital, selling the company, and true freedom. Investors offered $3,400,000 to purchase your distribution business. You retained personal ownership of the warehouse real estate and successfully leased it back. The bank wire transfer cleared on a Tuesday at 11:47 in the morning. You sat quietly in your car in the parking lot when the notification for the deposited funds arrived. Your net worth surpassed the value of the very factory that had laid you off years ago. You stopped by the Starlight Diner and left a $40 cash tip for a modest lunch bill. The waitress thanked you warmly, making it the pleasantest conversation of the entire month. The invested capital began working for you, generating a steady monthly passive stream of income. For the first time in your life, interest earned became your income rather than a heavy burden of debt. You maintained old habits, winding your father's watch every morning before your first cup of coffee. You always paid attention to gas prices and kept emergency cash tucked behind your driver's license. Sleeping near the edge of the mattress close to the door remained a lasting habit from shelter days. Every month, you mailed anonymous cash envelopes to support the church basement community programs. You fully funded the opening of a second 12-bed sober living home for Mrs. Ida. Mrs. Ida recognized her benefactor immediately, but played along with the silent secret of her donor. In the evenings, you would occasionally park across from the social intake center, watching quietly. You paid cab fares and intake fees for individuals searching for their own path toward recovery. It didn't alter broad statistical realities, but it gave specific human beings a real second chance. Somewhere in the city, another person just received a similar calendar invite for a sudden layoff. He doesn't know it yet, but a long road toward reclaiming his human dignity lies right ahead. Level 9, charitable foundations, repaid debts, and helping others. The road to recovery required years of hard labor, discipline, and unyielding self-belief. Every Friday envelope served as a small step toward ultimate financial and personal freedom. You learned to value every earned coin and every minute of a peaceful, sober life today. Past mistakes were transformed into priceless wisdom that helped avoid life's dangerous new traps. Your business became a shining example of how absolute honesty builds a solid foundation for success. Former factory coworkers marveled at your rise, but you held zero resentment or bitterness. Cyrus became your truest friend and trusted partner across all the company's charitable ventures. Mrs. Ida continued rescuing human lives, now backed by the firm financial support of your organization. Sister Donna took deep pride in your resilience and frequently sought your financial advice. Mom peacefully tended her tomatoes in her own apartment without a single worry about tomorrow. You learned to forgive yourself for past missteps and live a fully present professional life. The folder with old resumes was kept inside a safe as a reminder of the cost of falling. Every new day began with gratitude for the opportunity to perform meaningful acts of good around you. You mentored local entrepreneurs, helping them launch small ventures based on your personal journey. The Addiction Recovery Support Foundation ran smoothly, as precise as your father's pocket watch. You never sought public acclaim or recognition for your extensive, ongoing philanthropic efforts. The greatest reward was witnessing people reclaim their lost human dignity once and for all. Your life became living proof that a person can rise from the deepest rock bottom imaginable. Financial literacy and personal discipline saved your future from total and permanent destruction. You remained a humble individual who understands the true value of every personal choice in life. Level 10, the circle of life and timeless wisdom. The cycle of life completes its loop, leaving behind only the most essential lessons for generations to come. A fall begins with a single small weakness, but the climb back up demands relentless daily work. Never feel ashamed to start from scratch, even when it seems everything is lost forever. Honesty with oneself is the first and most critical step toward genuine human recovery. The support of loyal friends can save a life during the darkest and most desperate moments. Financial discipline creates a resilient foundation for future growth and personal freedom. Always remember those who extended a helping hand during the moments of your deepest fall. Reach down to help others climb up once you reach the summit of success and financial stability. Every single day grants a brand new opportunity to change your destiny without hesitation. True strength lies not in accumulated wealth, but in the ability to overcome life's harsh trials. Your past does not define your future if you are willing to work on yourself daily going forward. Treasure your loved ones and never hesitate to ask for forgiveness for past painful mistakes. Financial independence provides the freedom to live by your own values and continuously help others. Always keep your mornings under control to make sound, deliberate, and wise daily choices. Disclose defects honestly, and the world will answer you with trust and fresh new opportunities. Do not fear starting with the humblest job, for it tempers your character with each passing day. Remember the cost of every earned dollar, and do not squander resources on meaningless things. Life delivers its hardest lessons through trials to make us stronger and wiser every day. The story of one fall and rise stands as an enduring inspiration for countless others today. Your path continues forward, and every new sunrise brings incredible fresh possibilities for growth.